Welcome to the LWTV network here on YouTube. I'm Jake Farr, and it's the start of the winter season here at Lincoln Way West. So let's take a look at our past media day for all our winter sports.
All right, welcome to the Winter Media Day. Today we have boys wrestling. We're going to talk a little about the future and the past, and a little bit about the present. So first question I'm going to lead up to is Coach Glenn. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about last year's season and then the hopes of this year's season?
Finished last year with the record of 24-3. We had one state placer, 4 state qualifiers. We are definitely looking to improve this year on that. We returned a lot of our core guys. I think the coaching staff and the kids, our goal is to bring home a state trophy this year for sure, as well as improve on having a few more state medalists and a potential few state champions as well.
Awesome. You've been a coach since the inception of Lincoln Way. You've done great things for us, there's no doubt. You also coach the freshman football that leads into probably getting some of these athletes that you have here today. Why don't you tell us about a little bit of our past, when you started, how many numbers you had, to where we're at now.
Yeah, this year we're at 98 total kids in the program, which is a great number. I think when we first started, we were around 40 total. This year we have 40 freshmen, incoming freshmen, which is great, which is why we need a bigger room. So I asked the AD and the administration to make a bigger wrestling room for us, so we can keep the kids safe in here. But yes, overall the numbers continue to grow. The area for wrestling, the knowledge that the kids are coming in today, as in years past, is significantly different. Just to start on the varsity team is an extremely difficult accomplishment. Years past, we would have guys that it was fairly easy to start on our varsity team, and now it's a challenge, which is good. It forces us to challenge ourselves, be better competitors, and it's a good thing for our program.
You know, it's interesting you talk about that. You talk about, in the past, you could come in and play or be a contender right away. Now we've got so much depth and talent. You're starting to see, I would say, programs saying that you're not going to be able to wrestle right away. Is that a good thing, bad thing? We talk about competition all the time.
I think it's a great thing. I think our program has reached a level where we've been a top 10 team in the state for 10 plus years now. We are sending guys to colleges. We're getting guys recruited to high level schools now. Luke's getting looked at some high level schools. We have some other guys on our team as well. I think it's a great thing. If you want to wrestle at the next level, and we have a number of guys that I know want to, that's going to get you to wrestle to the next level. Competing against good guys. If you look at all the high level college teams, they're battling every day against really, really good competition, and it's making everybody better.
You want to talk about your schedule a little bit, your strength of schedule. I think you kind of upped it since you started to where we're at now. It leads into, we're a contending program every year, and kids that come here recognize that right away, that we ain't playing or wrestling certain teams.
When we first started, in my very first year with Coach Ruger at Lincoln Central, and Justin wrestled, he won, I think, the Pontiac Open. All right, which was not a very prestigious tournament, and now we don't go to we don't I don't want to say waste our time, but we put ourselves in a position that we are going to see the best level of competition. We go to national events. We have a lot of guys wrestling in the summer to try to qualify for national events. We see almost every single team in the top 20. We see some nationally ranked teams. And I think it shows. It shows at the end of the year that we're getting those guys downstate, we're getting guys on the podium.
Coach Farmer, Coach Glenn just mentioned, being a Lincoln Way alum and then having a lot of success in high school and then moving to the college ranks. Just a little bit about yourself, what is your coaching style, or what are a couple things that you wish you would have known when you wrestled in high school that you got out of college that you're trying to bring to them to prepare them a little bit more and how to be successful?
Sure. I would probably say being a good practice partner and work ethic, right? Having the ability to be a good partner. That's really all I got.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about what do you believe individually when you get into a match or how you prepare wrestlers to go? What are your finer points that you are making sure right from the get-go that they are ready for?
Yeah, I mean, having a clear mind, just maybe letting loose, not thinking so much out there, keeping those guys relaxed before they go into a big match, letting them know it's just a wrestling match, right? It's at the end of the day, your family's going to love you, your coaches are going to love you, you know, going out there relaxed and realizing it's just a match, right? And if you go out there and you give it all you got, right, you'll never have any regret, and you should be proud of the outcome and win or lose, right? So I guess my mindset would be making sure those guys are relaxed and prepared to compete at a high level.
Coach Glenn, you got a lot of depth, there's no doubt. You chose to have Luke and Nate up here. You probably could have 10 guys up here, no doubt. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about Luke and Nate and why they're up here?
Yeah, both these guys have been leaders in our program, not just this year, but for years. Luke, more of a leader on the mat, not as vocal, but his work ethic is by far the best. The amount of time he puts into the sport, and it's great for our younger guys to see. And then he got rewarded for it. He finally, all that time he put in placed in state last year, and there's no one that works harder and has a better mindset than Luke. And again, Nate, going from football, being a leader in football, being a leader he's looked up to by all the underclassmen. And if you're messing around, he'll kind of put you in your place as well, a little bit more of a vocal leader. But for this group we have this year, this very talented group, I couldn't ask for two better senior leaders, without a doubt.
Nate, could you talk a little bit about your style of wrestling or some of the finer points that you are focused on to make you successful?
I'd say it's not a very complicated style, you know, it's more just like basics. And with a lot of these coaches, what we teach in this room is, you know, like find a couple of things and make them like get really, really good at those like small things, whether it's just one or two shots, one or two finishes, and just like making those skills elite and then just be good at everything else. So it's more of like a basic style, but just make it, sharpen it every day in practice.
Mm-hmm. Luke?
Yeah, same thing. I don't know. I like to stay low in my stance, so no one can shoot on my legs and stuff. In practice, I'm always in my good stance. I'm always low. I'm like, yeah.
Is there, this is for anybody too that wants to add to it, but is there any one moment, we'll start with Nate, any one tournament or anything that you're looking forward to this year that you really enjoyed from last year and preparing for this year?
Probably the Donnybrook. The Donnybrooks, I mean, we've been going into for 4 years, and it's always just been a fun tournament. Like you get a taste of what wrestling's like outside of Illinois, and you see like these top guys from the Midwest, and it's just a fun experience here in the arena, here in the hotel. It's a nice city.
Coach, you have anything to add on that tournament, what it's about, just a little more information on it?
It's a little bit more of like a college feel. You get to travel a little bit, you get to stay with the team, so you get a little bit of bonding, but then at the same time, we're seeing some very high level wrestling, and we've done fairly good. We keep building on how we've done in the past, and I expect this year to finish even better. But I mean, every guy you're wrestling a lot of Division I talent, so it really tells you where you're at and where you need to get better at, especially at the beginning of the year.
Luke, any favorite, anything you're looking forward to, or any favorite invites or anything that you are ready for this year?
Oh yeah, definitely Donnybrook, but I'd say the Illini Classic over there at Lincoln Way Central. There's always good competition there. We see a lot of the top 5 kids in the state wrestling, you know, good competition throughout the whole tournament.
The next question is going to go to Coach Farmer. All right, you're kind of like Coach Glenn's right-hand man a little bit. You see him at his high and you see him at his low. How do you keep him under control? Like, what are some of the things that you do that can control him?
I'm not sure he's able to be fully controlled. I try to talk him off the ledge occasionally. I don't know if I do a good job of that. I think when he's a little upset, he kind of disappears. We kind of call him the magician once in a while. He'll just disappear for a little bit, and then I don't know where he goes or what he does, but he usually comes back in a better mood. So I don't know if I have much to do with that, but whatever he does in that time where he disappears is good for him and good for the program, I suppose.
Luke, you know, when he does the Houdini act and he leaves, is that something that you recognize right away when he's upset? What are some of the things that you see when you know Coach Glenn is like, okay, I should probably have dialed it in?
Yeah, when we're wrestling and you see Coach Glenn, you know, leaning back in his chair, or, you know, up in his stance yelling, yeah, you definitely know you're in on Coach Glenn's head.
So, are you living rent-free in his head too? Or?
If you want to say so.
Okay. Nate, how about you? What are some of the things that you see?
Just from being around him, there's just a certain like just look and like it's just facial expressions where he's just like don't say anything stupid to him or don't like look over at him in the wrong way, and it's just there's just a certain look he gives off, but it's just like you can tell he's upset, not happy with us.
Okay. Andrew, you on?
Yeah, Luke, do you wrestle in the summer? I don't know how not in season works for wrestling. Is there like a club team?
Yeah, so I wrestle for a club. I wrestle year round. I never really stop wrestling.
Yeah.
Like as soon as the season ends, I'm wrestling again. I never really stop.
So is club kind of like AAU sports? Like, do you travel for that a lot?
Yeah, we travel. I went to North Carolina. I've been to Florida over the summer. Yeah, it's just like a club. It's like travel baseball almost.
Yeah.
We travel
So-
to 2 different tournaments around the country.
Does that, is that more individualized, or do you have a team there where you feel like, hey, we're a team too?
Yeah, I mean, it's individualized as like just wrestling, you know, it's an individual sport, but we travel as a team, yes, of course.
Okay. And then, last question on that topic is like, how do you, since you wrestle year round, how are you able to get your body to recover? And you know what I mean? When do you know I've got to rest a little bit? Is that possible for you at this age to put in rest time or no?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have breaks in between tournaments here and there. I do a lot of recovery just at the gym and the sauna and ice baths and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Awesome. Coach Glenn, you know, I hate to say like, oh, we're knocking on the door because we're there. I believe we are. I know we are. And you're so close in so many different ways of breaking through to get that first state trophy. What are some of the things that you're going to do? Third. Yeah, we want first though. That's what we strive for. But if you're okay with third, we're.
So you said state trophy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, we're just talking in general. What are you gonna do this year to prepare our kids mentally to get that next?
I think the next step is being challenged in the room is number one, and I think this year more than ever we have spots where there's going to be a lot of weights where there's 2 very, very good wrestlers that are going to have to compete for that spot. And I think maybe in the years past where somebody had that spot and they could kind of coast a little bit and there was really no one behind them to take their spot, this year is significantly different. We have 7 or 8 spots that if you're not performing, it's next guy up. So that's going to keep everyone just to make sure not only in practice, but that you're doing everything right. That's nutrition, that's your weight cutting, that's getting proper sleep, that's grades. That's all those go into play when the margin of error is so close, which is a great thing.
Nate, in your own words and in your thoughts, in your opinion, what makes Lincoln Way West wrestling special?
I just have to say the people in the room, because it's just like the people you're around. It's not like other sports where you're kind of more individualized and like positions and stuff. Like we're all in this room. We're all going through the same thing, and I think that just brings like everybody together. And the coaches too. Like the coaches, they make us feel like what makes them special is that they're willing to like push us to our best and like our limits, and the wrestlers are able to like allow that. Like everybody's kind of just like close knit, and it's just more like a family feel.
Luke, you have anything to add on that? Like, why do you love being a part or about this wrestling program?
Yeah,
What does it mean to you?
I just love that our coaching staff, we have one of the best coaching staffs in the state. I like that they all like to wrestle with us. That gives us all a different feel, you know, wrestling not just your teammates, but you're wrestling with your coaches. They push you in practice harder than maybe your teammates could.
Coaches, so nutrition is something that, in my experience, a lot of times high school athletes don't buy into because it's, I mean, one, they don't have the discipline, but two, most sports don't even ask that much of them other than just, you know, be strong and lift weights. How are you able to get them to buy in to eat healthy? I mean, that's a difficult thing for teenage boys to do.
Well, one, we have a really good guy on our team. He's a great role model, Shane Stream. So a lot of the guys could look up to him and see how he does it. He does it the right way. You know, he eats the right things and he cuts weight the right way. So we have a really good guide for the other guys to see how it's done. But in wrestling, when you're cutting weight, if you're not doing it the right way, the results speak for themselves. So in the competition that we're wrestling, if you're not doing it the right way, you're not going to win. So.
Awesome.
Coach Glenn, you're a highly decorated coach who was a two-time IHSA Coach of the Year in 2012 and 2017. You have a record of 228 and 48, but you have yet to win a state championship. I understand that Carl Fraunhofer is coaching now at Columbia. How many do you think he would have won as the head wrestling coach at Lincoln Way West?
I would say 0, because no one really knows who Carl Fraunhofer is.
Do you want to tell us about Carl?
Carl Fraunhofer beat me in double overtime in the NCAA tournament because I couldn't get up from bottom. And he beat me because he had the greatest lift and bust, which we just went over the other day. So that's why we stress that. We always stress our lift and bust, and maybe that's because I have demons in my head from years ago about not being able to get up, because Carl Fraunhofer had a great lift and bust.
Excellent. With that said, honestly, I appreciate all the hard work Coach and I do. You guys, you are the heart of our school in many ways with the work and the hard work that you put in. That's why we're in this room today. It says something about having our media day in a room that is all about work and putting it in. So I appreciate all that. We're gonna end today with just a couple fun questions. I'm gonna start with Luke. You know, Luke, in wrestling, I know that you all have your hype up song right before you get on that match. You know, everyone has demons. Coach Glenn has demons. We just heard about. What prevents those demons from entering your head, and what do you listen to?
Yeah, definitely the music. I'm more like a rap kind of guy. I like to get like just the bass in my headphones. You know, I just like to get pumped up, I guess you could say. Okay. Just like the adrenaline takes over. I don't know. Yeah.
Awesome. Nate?
I'd say something that gets me going is it's Mississippi River Choir, the Mass Choir. They sing a song called "I'm Not Tired Yet," and it's really been through this program built into my brain. Like when I hear that song, it gets me fired up and just makes me wanna go that extra mile.
Is that song played in here? Is there
yes.
to it?
There's a couple practices throughout the year where it's the only song playing.
Like over on repeat?
Yeah, just on repeat.
Coach Glenn, you want to add to that? What's the backstory on that?
The backstory, a couple years ago, we felt like we didn't wrestle very good. We were really out of shape, so some mental warfare. I found a song that said, "We're not tired yet," because the week before it looked like we were really, really tired. So, so we played the song for 2 straight hours. 10 straight days. It wasn't 10 straight days.
I think that's it. Did you get one more question? Yeah.
Coach Farmer, what happened to your lip?
Oh, what a great assuming was gonna be the first question on the,
Just getting it out.
on the panel there, yeah. I was born with a birthmark on my lip, and if Coach Rudiger was here, who's one of our legend coaches, first ever 4-time state champion, he has heckled me for the duration of my life because of my lip, and I go to therapy because of it. So to answer your question, it's a birthmark.
That's who gave that question.
Was Mark. I'm sorry, Mr. Rudiger?
Yes.
Yeah. I had to figure this out.
We knew you'd be a good sport.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we're glad that you're a volunteer wrestling coach as well, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, and maybe the AD would give me some gear once in a while for all my hard work in the room.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we look forward to your year. You're doing a great job. Keep up the hard work. Thanks for partaking today. Thanks. Have a good one.